Instead you can bury the workman, but the work will go on. You can silence the voices, but you can't stop the song.
Welcome to Wheeling the Pathways of Life Unplugged with your host, Brain Fitzpatrick. Wheeling the Pathways of Life Unplugged is a snapshot of the day-to-day experiences of disabled individuals as they navigate the world around us. We wish to shed light and open your eyes on a new perspective of people with disabilities. And by going unplugged, we can discuss viewpoints we hope will challenge our viewers' points of view. Most of us have disabilities we must live with, but what defines us is the way we deal with them. And now, here's your host, Brain Fitzpatrick.
Good afternoon, folks. This is Brain Fitzpatrick with another episode of Wheeling the Pathways of Life. Today I wanted to just base on a couple things. What I've seen on the news is pretty amazing. How your life can change and you can turn into being disabled in a matter of seconds. And due to an accidental just opening a car door can, when you open the hospital, if you're not careful. And, everybody thinks, oh, I'll never be disabled. And that'll never happen to me, but it's pretty apparent that things are beyond our control, even the things that should be in our control. That's why I harp on the fact that give me as much control as I can have. It's not so much that I'm a control freak, but what it is it's muscle memory. If you don't use it, you lose it. And it's the same way in keeping yourself safe. If you don't pay attention, something may happen. But the exact opposite, if you worry too much, something will happen. So you gotta get a delicate balance, but just, and a lot of what's going on today is, in my opinion, it's a combination of greed and not greed, but selfish behavior and lack of patience. I saw one on the news that I know people are watching too, where a person pulled up in the driveway and, unfortunately killed somebody, but that's just a matter of you never know what's gonna happen. So enjoy every minute you got when you got it, because you don't know what you're gonna, end up with. But in some of these shows that I have are going to be reality check on my opinion over what's going on out there. And if you got a situation where you just don't know what to do, think about people like me where I have to rely on other people to do things for me. And if I have to think about watching my back all the time, basically. Not that anybody would do anything maliciously wrong to me, but it's a consideration. It's a consideration that we all need to take. And we all need to stay as safe as we can. And I just wanted to bring that out. Because I also want to be I don't want to scare people, but I want to be a realist as well, that things can happen to people that you least expect. And being in a position where I am, I see people with industry accidents. I've seen people with going swimming and hitting their head on the bottom of a pool can put people in wheelchairs. Watching playing football and leaving the yard, driving home after consuming alcohol, and pulling out of the playing field and hitting a utility pole. Yeah, I've seen cases like that where your life can change in a heartbeat. So anyway, folks, our situation today is today meaning society-wise, I mean, it's a difficult world to be in right now, but it's also still the greatest country in the world, I agree. As far as I'm concerned, and we've still got areas in this country that we've still got quite a few things we can do in this country that we couldn't do. I mean, there's things in this country that we can do that other countries can't. And instead of worrying about what we can do, we should worry about what we can do. And one of the things we can do is be nice to our neighbors and be kind and be pleasant and offer to help once in a while. So when we come back, folks, After our first PSA break, we're going to get into what the disabled community, how the disabled community can be a integral part of day-to-day living and being an actual member of society if people let them and they can contribute a lot and be an asset to people instead of a hindrance. I think that would be if people look at people as an asset, I think that would be a lot easier and we'd be in a lot better shape than we are now. With the way society is, people have lived by some of the examples that I'm about to give. We will be right back, folks.
Savior, I come, just quiet my soul. Remember redemption's hill, where your blood was spilled for my ransom. And everything I once held dear, I count it all as a loss. Lead me to the cross where your love poured out, and bring me to my knees. Lord, I lay me down, and rid me of myself, 'cause I belong to you. Lord, lead me, just lead me to the cross. You were as I, Lord, tempted and tried, human. The Word became flesh, you bore my sin and death. Now you're risen, oh, and everything I once held dear, I count it all as loss. Just lead me to the cross where your love poured out. Bring me to my knees, Lord, I lay me down. Rid me of myself, I belong to you. Lord, lead me, just lead me to your heart. Lead me to your heart. Lord, lead us to your heart. to your heart, Lord. Lead me to your heart. Lord, lead me to your heart. Lord, lead us to your heart. Lord, lead us to your heart. Lord, lead us to the cross.
Good afternoon, folks. And I'd like to just mention as a thank you to Nick Winters from New Life Community Fellowship. He does a wonderful job at both services at New Life. The services are from one service is at 9 a.m. and one service is at 11 a.m. We have children's church. We call it King's Kids at 11 a.m. during the 11 a.m. service. After the music, Pastor will let the kids be dismissed from the main room, and then they go do their classes, and then he teaches the big kids while the little kids are actually he tries to teach the big kids while the little kids are actually getting an education. But anyway, thank you, Nick, for letting us have that footage, and also the church's service is on 1301. And that's from 3:30 to 5 on Sunday afternoons. And we run the shows a week behind. So what we did last week, you will see this Sunday from 3:30 to 5. And then this week's service will be on. This Sunday's service will be on. And 2 Sundays actually it'll be one Sunday after this one. It'll be the next Sunday will be this service that we're shooting this Sunday. So, and you can go to newlifepictures.com, and on the website there is a page called The Loop. And on the Loop you can see everything that's going on in the church, communicate with the pastors, give donations if you want to, or see more about what we do at the church, and get in touch with Pastor Aaron. Anyway, thank you to New Life Community Fellowship, and thank you to my illustrious technical director outside for volunteering to do this. Without you, Kelsey, I wouldn't be able to do everything that I'm doing, so I appreciate it. So I really think that the best thing that I would say, folks, is that one of the ways that I would like to see people do is when they see somebody as disabled as I am, ask them if they want help. Don't just take over for them, because as I was saying before, it is a case of muscle memory. Now there are situations like leaving the studio. I definitely need help because of the sidewalk. But other than that, just be aware and give the person a choice whether they want help or not, as far as what they're able to do on their own. Because, as you may or may not know, I don't have a lot of choice in being in the chair. Although I'm not upset about it, but it is still very limiting on what I can do and what I can't do. So as much as you might want to step in, you've got to learn the person you're dealing with and learn what they can. And knowledge is power. And if you don't know, you gotta communicate with that person. Or, in some cases, the people that work with them. And the people that work with them need to communicate with them as well. I mean, the people that work with the clients need to, or consumers, need to work with whoever they're working with to know what the client wants, or just ask the client themselves, because 9 times out of 10, whether it be facial expressions or whether it be something like that, that's sometimes all you need to know if somebody's upset. Now, I don't even have to tell some of my staff whether I'm upset or not, because they can tell if that is. So I just want you to be aware that even though some people can't communicate, they can still be communicated to. You just gotta figure out a way to be able to read their read their body language, or read their expressions on their faces. Now, one subject that I want to get into, that I will probably get into later in other shows, but I want to touch on it today. At some points, I think that a lot of parents don't take school as serious as they should. Okay? There are some people, there are some clients that because of their cognitive level of communication is not good. I know about the law as far as the educational rights for people to have an education, but you also got to be able to, the teachers need to know how to communicate with the clients, how to communicate with the students. And if they don't know how to communicate with the students, there's not much actual substance of the education I'm going to get. And let's face it, even though I said you gotta go based on the consumer and based on the student if you're talking to an educator. Now, if you're talking to somebody that's trying to educate, you gotta go to your weakest student. But the ones that I'm talking about are the students that are obviously not gonna do well in a mainstream setting. So I believe that there are ways, now this is only my opinion, there are ways to meet that educational requirement by the school department paying for an appropriate place for that student to be if all they're going to get is playing with toys all day. I mean, it's based on, my opinion is based on the cognitive level of the student. Now, I don't want to get, I know I'm going to get some mail on this one, but it's based on the cognitive level of the student and how they comprehend. Now, if the school system decides they can't teach an individual because they don't have the right equipment, then they just don't want to give the equipment. But if there's obviously a blind person that is deaf as well, and and stuff like that. That's a little difficult. So there should be exceptions. To modify, I'm not saying to not educate them at all. What I'm saying is to modify the standards for the individual as far as school system requirements are concerned, because there are people out there that can be educated and be successful in the education community easier than other people. And I'm not saying to give the smarter people the education, but I'm saying you gotta go based on the cognitive level of the individual and how much they're receiving when you communicate with them. Because if you're only at the first grade level, there's no way you're gonna be able to read the table of contents of the Library of Congress, or in some cases read read the newspaper. Because sometimes I'll tell you a little secret, guys. I can't even read I had trouble reading at the 5th grade level. Now my education is more for audio and self-taught situations than it is reading. Now, I don't want to take away everybody's education, but I do want to tell you, go at the person's strengths, go at the person's strengths, work on the weaknesses, but there's got to be a limit to what those people can do. And you can only teach so much in 4 years of high school, and teaching comes from home too. It's not all the school system. As far as, don't even get me started about the public school system, because there's problems with that too, but they try to do the best they can with the state regulations and the country's regulations. I applaud the teachers' efforts, and I applaud what the teachers can do. I don't want to have many phone calls about, hey, dogging the school system. I am not doing that. I'm just showing the fact that you need to base the education, the state and the federal government need to base in my opinion, and this is my opinion, and this is not the opinion of the station in any way, shape, or form. But in my opinion, you need to base the education on the student in the student's ability to learn. At the same time, you can shortchange a student based on the way they look. I mean, based on the way they present themselves or the parents present the student, you can get the impression that this person is going to take forever to teach, and that's the wrong thing to do as well. And I just wanted to say all that because we need to give everybody an opportunity to succeed, even if people think that they can't. In this country, we deserve the right to be educated and be given an opportunity. Don't take that away from that person, but you gotta go at their level. And sometimes the simplest education, the simplest things, are sometimes the hardest. Now, and also paying attention to what the client needs as far as being disabled. Now, I had a situation yesterday that was kind of interesting. As you can see, I have a straw right here for me to drink. Now, this straw goes all the way down to the end of the cup. Inside, it goes all the way to the bottom of the cup. But it was dirty last night. So one of my staff, safety-wise, looked at the straw and said, "What do you want to do?" And I looked at it real quick and I said, "Throw it away." Not realizing and forgetting that this is made out of rubber. And this is the only straw I had for this cup. Now, one of the ways you can fix a cup like this is straw like this. And this is not a patented method, so I'm not violating any laws on that, but you can take a coat hanger and actually run the coat hanger from end to end, run some soap through it, run some soap through the straw first, take a coat hanger and run end to end and clean up the sides of the straw, and it looks like brand new. Because the reason why I bring that up is it's a situation where the doctors have told me drink at least 32 ounces, which 32 ounces at least, and at least 32 ounces, if not 64. And if you take a straw away from me that can only reach not even halfway down the straw, then how am I going to get my full 32 ounce situation? Now, Was that a mistake that the PCA made? Not from a safety standpoint as far as keeping the straw clean, but from a safety standpoint of not, thinking about how is he going to get liquid if he doesn't have the straw. Now, I had plastic straws for similar cups to this, but they are just too short for this cup. So it wouldn't be a problem if we had to transfer cups. So what I'm saying is, please, people, use your head when you give suggestions. Look at the environment. Look at what's going to happen for the person to see what they need first. And then we will be better equipped to handle a given situation. I'm going to take a quick break right now and come back and wrap up the show. I will be right back.
When all I see is the battle, you see my victory. When all I see is a mountain, you see a mountain move. And as I walk through the shadow, your love surrounds me. Yeah. There's nothing to fear now, for I am safe with you. So when I fight, I'll fight on my knees with my hands lifted high. Oh God, the battle belongs to you, and every fear I lay at your feet, and I'll sing through the night. 'Cause, oh God, the battle belongs to you. And if you are for me, who can be against me? Yeah. For Jesus, there's nothing impossible for you. When all I see are the ashes, you see the beauty. Thank you, God. Oh, when all I see is a cross, God, you see the empty tomb. So when I fight on my knees with my hands lifted high. Oh God, the battle belongs to you, and every fear I lay at your feet. I'll sing through the night. Oh God, the battle belongs to you. An almighty fortress, you go before us. Nothing can stand against the power of our God. You shine in the shadows, you win every battle. Nothing can stand against the power of our God. Almighty fortress, you go before us. Nothing can stand against the power of our God. go before us. Nothing can stand against the power of our God. You shine in the shadows. You win every battle. Nothing can stand against the power of our God. So when I fight, I'll fight on my knees with my hands lifted high. Oh God, the battle belongs to you. And every fear I lay at your feet, I sing through the night. Oh God, the battle belongs to you. Oh God, the battle belongs to you. Someday.
Good afternoon, folks. This is Brian Fitzpatrick bringing you another episode of Wheeling the Pathways of Life. And in the last few minutes that I have, I just want to reiterate some of the things I've been saying because I've been kind of all over the place as far as education, as far as shooting and stuff like that, as far as the situations that are going out in the world. And what I wanted to get with today is we need to be kind of mindful of what people's the way people's feelings are. And yes, we can be honest with them, but being mindful of you have an opinion, I have an opinion, my control room has an opinion, the station has an opinion. We all have an opinion, so before we say something, we need to think about what we say, and we need to look at the impact of everything we say. At the end of the day, our opinions in the world for so many different people, it doesn't matter because they're still gonna have the same opinion whether we say it or not. I mean, we have a right to say it, but is it absolutely necessary for us to push our opinions on other people? And is it necessarily going to change things, or is it going to change things in a negative way, or is it going to be a positive suggestion or received positively? If it's not, if you don't think it's going to be received positively, don't say it, because if you say it, you know, I mean, you gotta weigh out the risks of saying something. And even me as a handicapped individual need to realize if I say something that somebody doesn't like, I could be left in a bad situation. And what I mean by that is somebody not wanting to work for me. So I need to constantly remind myself that how you talk to people is how people are going to talk to you. If you talk to them rudely, they're going to talk to you rudely too. Is it right? No. Is it natural? Yes. And just because you're in a wheelchair or just because you got a disability doesn't mean you can't be responsible for what you say and do. Now, I will say this. Even when it comes to doing a show like this, I'm responsible for everything I say on the show. I have to conduct myself in a manner that is uplifting and positive as much as I can. Even though a lot of the information I have that may not be easy to do or may not be popular or easy to swallow, but I do the best I can, and I've been doing it for almost 4 years now. And thank you folks for bearing with me and understanding and giving me positive feedback when I see you and talk to you guys in the community. And please continue to contact me at Wheeling the Pathway to Life. Wheeling the Pathway to Life at gmail.com. That's Wheeling the Pathway to Life at gmail.com. And get in touch with me. And next week, we will have a special guest that has never been in the studio on my show before. Pastor Aaron Cable from the Associate Pastor of New Life Community Fellowship. So, look forward to that. And we will have a discussion about things that are pertaining to being probably situations like disabilities, as far as why he feels that there are, what he feels were kind of why we have so many challenges and what God is trying to teach us with our disability. Being disabled, what is that exactly teaching us? I know what I think And I know what Pastor Jeff thinks, that even sleeping is a way of saying we're not in control. He is as far as meaning the Lord is. So just remember that. When we think we're in control, we're not. God lets us do what we do, and let's do it the best we can to show God we're grateful for what we've been given. So again, before I wrap up, this has been Brain Fitzpatrick with Wheeling the Pathway to Life. And again, I'd like to implore you to communicate with me, good, bad, and ugly. As far as good, bad, positive information about the show and what you think I can do for you to make the show more appealing to some other viewers. But I thank you, God, for joining us today. And I got a couple of seconds. Again, you can contact me at Wheeling the Pathway to Life .com. Wheeling the Pathway to Life at gmail.com. And I will look forward to talking to you all next week. Thank you.
You can bury the workman, but the work will go on. You can silence the voices, but you can't stop the song. 'Cause when the Spirit's moving, His will be done. You can bury the workman, but the work will go on.